Hello students, I hope you have a very good day today. I'm very happy to get a very good response from you all. And once again, my sincere advice to all those who are not sincerely watching my videos, please do watch and get down to serious studies. Make the most of this lockdown period and have no regrets. So today, I'm going to take up time and tense part 1. Now in today's chapter, I'll be explaining about the simple present tense and the present continuous tense, the two forms of the present tense, and how are they used. So my dear children, you all have done tenses earlier in your previous classes, but this is going to be a little different, and this is going to indicate or show you how simple present tense and present continuous tense is used and what is the usage indicating. All right, so we begin with simple present tense. Now simple present tense is used to indicate four things. First is facts. For example, a magnet attracts iron fillings. Now this is a fact. So simple present tense, if it's a fact to be stated, it will always be in simple present tense. Dogs are faithful animals. Next is repeated actions, customs and habits. Whenever you have to show these through your sentence, it has to be in a simple present tense. For example, he visits his family every weekend. So he visits is his habitual action. So we'll write it in simple present tense. Third, abilities. When you have to show the abilities of anybody, you will always write it in simple present tense. For example, she plays tennis very well. I play cricket very well. So here play and plays would be simple present tense. Fourth, the future. Now after if in the conditional sentences, if it's a conditional sentence, children, a conditional sentence is a sentence which begins or which contains an if in it. So in the sentence as it says, you can see on the screen, if he comes tomorrow, we shall remind him. In this case again, if your sentence is beginning with if, or if it's a conditional sentence, we'll use simple present tense. For example, comes. Comes is the simple present tense here. After words like when, until, before, after, as soon as, and as, then too we use simple present tense. When the rain stops, comma, we shall go out. We can't begin until he arrives. So here stops and can't would be the present tense, simple present tense. Now in the above cases, present continuous cannot be used in place of simple present tense. Don't think that you can just replace these previous examples by just using present continuous. No children, you cannot. Now present continuous tense, I'm going to tell you that why is it used? It is used to indicate what is happening now, at the moment. For example, we are eating. So what is happening right now? We are eating. For example, you can say, what are you doing now? We are studying. So we are studying. So this is a present continuous tense. So present continuous tense is to be written at the time when something is happening. If it's a temporary habit, students are learning fast these days. So this is showing that it's a temporary habit, not a permanent one. In case of a permanent habit or a custom, or an repeated action, it would be simple present tense. As I've already shown you in the previous slide. I'll get back to that slide. Here you see. Repeated action. He visits his family every weekend. So if it's a repeated action or if it's a habit, then we use simple present. But if it's a temporary habit, again, the second slide. Children, please look carefully. Then we say it in present continuous tense. When we have to talk about the future, for example, my nephew is arriving this evening. Now you can see yes, I'm sorry children, there was a shift of the slide. So here we get back to the same slide. So my nephew is arriving this evening. Now we're talking about the future. We'll write it in present continuous tense. Repeated happening, or if it's a coincidence. If it has been happening repeatedly or just by chance, then for example, Reena is always losing her pen. Another example which is not there on the screen, children, you may note it down. His bicycle is always breaking down. Now, there is one case, children, in which the simple present tense is almost interchangeable with the present continuous. It could be for an event which has been definitely planned for the future. So that in that case we interchange with the present continuous. You can see in the example, she leaves school in June. Now this is something which she has planned for the future. So we can say it in this way, she is leaving school in June. So they are interchangeable here. Such sentences can be interchanged. Another example which is not there on the screen, children, you may note it down. He takes the examination next week. I repeat, he takes the examination next week. So in present continuous it would be, he is taking the examination next week. I repeat, he is taking the examination next week. Now there are many verbs which are normally not used in the continuous tense. They describe a state and not an action. Such words are called stative words. Now these verbs are of 5 kinds, children. One is verbs of senses and perception. For example, see, hear, smell, taste, notice, feel. An example of that could be, we see with our eyes. Alright? Or you can also say, the honey tastes sweet. We see with our eyes, or the honey tastes sweet. In this case, it will always be in the present tense. Next is verbs of emotions. When you have to express emotions, it is always in the present tense and not normally they're not in the continuous tense because they are describing a state and not an action. I want to have some rest. For example, the words are love, hate, adore, wish, want, desire and hope. or it could be like, dislike, anything. So I want to have some rest. Here want is there. I like idli and sambar. So like is the word and it is in simple present tense. Another area where we have simple present tense is verbs of mental state and activity. For example, agree, disagree, doubt, trust, defer, and all those. There's a whole list there, children. So examples are, do you understand the poem? We will not say, are you understanding the poem? That's going to be wrong. So, do you understand the poem? I know the way to the market. This is the correct way to say. No, you cannot say, I'm knowing the way. That is absolutely wrong. And these days, we come across a number of students speaking in this manner. So, remember, with all these words, we will not use present continuous. Verbs of possession. Example, own, belong, possess, or have. This house belongs to my uncle. We don't say this house is belonging to my uncle. That's wrong. So no present continuous tense, my dear children. Next is, he has good memory. Never say he is having. Oh, that is going to be absolutely wrong, my dear students. Have is used in the progressive sense to express the meaning of eat. Remember, when you use the word have, it is indicating eat. I'm having breakfast. That is, I'm eating breakfast. So you cannot say he is having good memory. That's wrong. Have always indicates the meaning of eat. Some other verbs such as appear, seem, look, contain, consist, and so on. With those, again, you cannot use present continuous. He appears to be healthy. Not that he is appearing to be healthy. No way, children. Now we come to another part, and that is present perfect. We've done simple present, present continuous, and the third one is present perfect. So present perfect is concerned with the fact that something has happened without referring to the exact time when it happened. Something has happened, but we don't know the exact time. I have lost my book. We don't know when. Okay? So has and have, they link past and present with since and for, both. Present perfect shows a recent happening. Now let me give you an example with since and for. So, my dear children, if you want, you may note it down for since and for. I have lived in Kolkata since January. Yes, it's already there on the screen, so no need to write it down. Then, I have just met my friend. Alright? So, you can see how present perfect is used. It is used when we know that something has happened, but not the exact time. For example, I've lived in Kolkata since January. Now we don't know the exact date. Now, adverbs associated with present perfect tense. There are certain adverbs. You must make a note of these, children. Children, I'm going very slow with this chapter, so you better note down whatever you see on the slide if you want to. So see, example, we have not been to the cinema lately. He has recently got married. So with all these adverbs, we'll use present perfect tense. The results have just been announced. Alright, now we come to the last form, and that is present perfect continuous. It indicates a past event connected with the present. Alright, so this is the difference between the present perfect and the present perfect continuous. Present perfect shows, it indicates something which happened but not the exact time. And present perfect continuous indicates a past event connected with the present, and it can be used in three ways: to indicate an activity which started in the past and has continued until the present. For example, we have been revising verbs for 3 weeks. Or it can be used to emphasize a past activity or a state connected with the present, but now it has ended. They have been playing all afternoon. Means the activity has now ended, but they have been playing. And the last one, to indicate a past activity connected with the present, now ended, has important result being experienced. So these are the three conditions. For example, we've been driving along muddy roads and now the car is dirty. So the past activity connected with the present and now ended and has an important result being experienced. So this is all for today, children. Time and tense part 1. Please go through all the slides once again and note down all the relevant points and do the assignment also.